Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Zooming in on the original Sabotager, the Narcissist, the Psychopath. I had a viewer who astutely brought up this in a comment in a post on a previous video, and I would like to elaborate on this because I really do feel that there's a consolidation of a narcissist personality qualities when we look at truly the essence and the meaning and the root word of sabotage. To sabotage means, it's a verb, which means it's an active action. It means to deliberately attempt to destroy and damage and undermine. So looking at the origin of sabotage, it's essentially when an enemy in military times would try to disrupt a army's strategy, function, etc. So the root word is originally has kind of a military and foundation. And I'm just looking here at, if you look at the root word, sabot, S-A-B-O-T, derives from the French, essentially in the 1800s, which means to botch. S-A-B-O-T, which means to botch, to botch up, to mess up, to destroy. It was botched up, it was messed up, it was mangled, it was made, incomprehensible. So sabot, and then age, A-G-E, which is the old Latin from A-G-E, which means an aggregate. So a coming together or a process, an aggregate of botching. So to sabotage, it's a word, it's a verb to describe a combination and assortment of all these different attempts to undermine you, to disravel you, and to render you ineffective, i.e. incapable. So looking at that very astute understanding and quality of the narcissist, if you really identify that and really let that soak in, I know that this is kind of a lesson of sorts, but I think it really pays due attention and due heed to examine this and understand this, because once this is in your environment, you realize how very serious it is. And also the fact that the origin of this, as this viewer had mentioned, is it's really the envious and the covetous who exhibit these sabotaging qualities. Very astute once again, because you will find people, and a lot of them. So that's why we tend to overlook them. Perhaps there's such an inundation of them, perhaps in our world, perhaps becoming more so in our world. There will be people who enter in your life, or your family, or your work life, or just your everyday going-ons, where these people, and you will have a sense about them, but chances are you'll shut out that initial feeling, this person, there's something not right about them. Perhaps they marry into your family, and you're like, this person seems to be a little bit too much of a, what do I want to say, opportunist, like, they seem to just be really, interested in a lot of superfluous, extraneous stuff within our family. They're not in it just for the relationship. They're in it for more, i.e., look out for this person. You just get this inkling, and then you receive validation from their family. So you guys, wise up. There's nothing wrong with understanding people and life. I mean, they don't teach this in school. They teach mathematics, they teach sciences, they teach English, they teach a lot of subjects, but they don't really teach a lot of this. So it's very important to become aware of this in your life, wherever you're at in your life. So, and this viewer had noticed that, envious, to envy means to want. It's to want what someone else has. In other words, that person does not like what they have. So if you're envying something, and this is a little bit analytical, but I think you'll get it. If someone's envying something, it means they're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with who they are, which is really a root of a lot of problems. Do you guys agree? And covetous, which means if you're coveting what someone else has, which means, you know, you're creating a lot of hostility, you're creating a lot of anxiety. You know, you want to like find ways to like, you know, get at their stuff. You know, whether it's, you know, you like the fact that they have a Coach purse, or you like the fact that they have a huge Avalanche truck, or, you know, they like the way that they have these watches or whatever it is that they're coveting, and so they will not like this person. They might be covetous of an education, they might be covetous of a personality trait. So it's not just material things that people can covet. They can covet the fact that you're tall, they can covet the fact that you're short, they can cover the fact that you're skinny, you know, you're blonde, you've got black hair. I mean, they can covetous all sorts of different qualities. The fact that you have a family, you don't have a family. I mean, there's all sorts of things, and you know, it's chances are if you have an instinct about someone about this, you are right and head on. So always make note of this. You guys keep a journal. You know, keep a journal. Most of the very successful people who I've met in life and in business, they keep their goals written down and they actually have a journal. It's not just like a 9-year-old girl who is like Dear Diary in her bed. I mean, you know, keep a journal, keep a file, you know, keep an archive of your life. A lot of people wish that they had an archive of their family heritage. You know, they wish they knew, you know, themselves better, and they wish that they knew their legacy better. They wish they knew their grandparents, their great-grandparents, their lineage. You know, where did my family come from? It came from somewhere. You know, I think it's very important to have like a sense of legacy and a sense of origin in your life. I think it's like a core of identity that you should be proud of. You know, so before it gets like wiped out or just not passed on. And, you know, I really find that narcissists are they can be very devoid at passing on a family legacy, which is extremely important for your roots. So just pay attention to that. But the viewer had noted, you know, they sabotage your self-esteem through invalidation. So your self-esteem is one of the very most important qualities you can possess in life. Most important, i.e. at the top of the list, you know, up at the top of the list is your self-esteem. They're trying to sabotage the very most core important things in your life that you take with you. And they're trying to make sure that this is derailed and disintegrated and defiled and defamed and weaken you. I mean, this is serious. So, and they do that through invalidation. And you need, if you're not familiar with what that is, invalidation, please review my other videos. We explore this in great length, so please do watch that. And also, they sabotage your emotions, and they do this through withholding, outbursts, and blurting out, etc. So, in other words, when they sabotage your emotions, they're constantly interjecting hostility, constantly interjecting anger, constantly interjecting their own issues, their own problems. They're making it everyone else's. And they very defile your boundaries by doing these sort of outbursts, and you know, it's very distracting, and they will do this when you're trying to focus and concentrate and just have a very normal, stable, secure life. And also they sabotage your sanity, which is essentially through gaslighting. And gaslighting is a very severe and adept way of really confusing your senses, your sense of reality, what is real, what is permitted, what is allowed, and you know, your own sense of accomplishment is so undermined and so confused through the various aggregate of sabotage that you really start to doubt your senses, and really it serves to really regress, and it really undermines, you know, it creates such a feeling of disorientation and fear. A lot of people call this, you know, anxiety issues and anxiety attacks, but gaslighting it becomes really, it's sort of very disorienting. And I deal with this issue quite a bit here on this channel, so again, please refer back to the videos and in ways to how to get over this sort of situation. So, and of course, you know, sabotaging your happiness and your creativity through the aggregate, again, of all the above. So realize that the narcissist, if you feel that they're hitting and disrupting you on these multiple levels, and you can't see it or touch it, but it's happening, you are dealing with a pathological narcissist or psychopath. Please pay attention. Please take care of yourself. Please protect. Please review this sort of experience in your life so you can be better armed and become self-empowered. And by all means, create a sort of defense and barrier between these people. Do not give them attention, i.e. the no contact. Peace and harmony with you here today. Hope these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.